David R. Guttery is an investment advisory representative of Emeritus Investment Corporation and president of Keystone Financial Group in Trussville, Alabama. Please stay tuned through the end of the video for additional important disclosure information.
Hello everyone. Today I'm joined by David Guttery, president of Keystone Financial Group here in Trussville, for a discussion about what it means to be a platform agnostic wealth manager. Well, David, it sounds like an interesting topic. Within previous videos, you've described what it means to be a fiduciary to your clients, and today you're here to expound upon that as it pertains to process and product, correct?
Yes, especially over the last decade. We've witnessed the direction of the financial planning industry shift. Financial planning is no longer product-centric. It is very much process-driven and without regard to platform or product. From the standpoint of process, let me offer this example. Think of me as being a travel agent. You come to me and say that we need to plan a trip to Chicago from Birmingham. Well, off the top of my head, I can think of 5 modes of transportation. We could rent a car, or book passage on a bus, or a train, or we could fly. Cruise ship is also a mode of transportation, but it won't do you much good between Birmingham and Chicago, so we can go ahead and take that one off the table. Now, I ask more questions about the trip. Is this you going on an overnight trip for work, or are you taking the entire family on a week-long vacation? If it's a vacation for a week and there are 4 of you going, then we can take economy car off the table because you're going to need the room of a full-sized SUV for all of the luggage. If it's a vacation, is your preference to maximize fun or minimize expense? You won't be able to do both. The least expensive transportation may be to book passage on a bus, but it will take 20 hours to arrive as you stop in many towns along the way. You could drive, but that will be a 10-hour drive. The most expensive transportation would be to fly, but you'll arrive in 90 minutes. Would you rather spend nearly an entire day of your vacation driving in order to save some money, or would you rather maximize fun and get there in an hour and a half? There is nothing inherently wrong with any of these modes of transportation. Each will do what it does and maximize the utility for which it was designed. My job is to fully understand the scope of the task at hand, and through a process of planning, we ultimately arrive at what makes the most sense for what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, David, and it really puts the planning process into greater clarity. I see that you've brought some writing instruments today. Tell us more about how these factor into the topic of wealth planning.
Well, I brought these to illustrate the importance of product utility. We have a Sharpie, a highlighter, a ballpoint pen, and a pencil. These are all writing instruments. If the task at hand is to write your child's name into gym clothes for school, you're probably going to use the Sharpie so that it will withstand sweat and laundering. If you're highlighting material in a book, you'll likely use the highlighter. If you're signing a contract, you'll likely use the ballpoint pen. I'm a novice songwriter, and I can tell you that my best friend in that process is the eraser. You can certainly try to use a Sharpie to sign a contract, but it will likely bleed through the paper and be illegible. I wouldn't try signing a contract with a highlighter, and if you tried to write a song with a ballpoint pen, you'd likely wind up with a page full of crossed out words. Each instrument has its own utility. It was designed for a specific task, and it performs that specific task better than any of the other instruments. My job is to understand what the client is attempting to do and help them by bringing the most suitable instrument to that task at hand. Having said that, sometimes tools can be misused. If you attempt to highlight text with a Sharpie, it's not going to work out very well. It's not the Sharpie's fault that it can't highlight material. That isn't the task for which it was designed. Tools are not inherently bad. They are sometimes misused. There's a commercial on television right now where the person suggests that annuities are bad tools. Okay, well, in parity with the topic of our conversation today, he says, "We don't sell Sharpies. We'll never sell Sharpies. There is no such thing as a bad Sharpie. Clients are best served by planners who take a platform-agnostic approach to wealth management and offer a fiduciary-level planning process for the task at hand so that the end result maximizes the utility for which the client is seeking.
David, thanks as always for being with us today. For additional information and how you can reach David, use the means listed upon the following screen. For the Trustful Tribune, I'm Brandon Dawkins.
David R. Guttery independently offers securities and investment advisory services through Emeritus Investment Corporation, member FINRA and SIPC. AIC and Keystone Financial Group are not affiliated. Additional products and services may be available through David R. Guttery or Keystone Financial Group that are not offered through AIC. Some of the products and concepts discussed have their own cost and are subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. These costs and risk will be thoroughly discussed with you prior to any recommendation or solicitation. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. Information provided is gathered from sources believed to be reliable. However, we cannot guarantee their accuracy.